Neha, Jovan Tran, and Bharat Chowler, and our project was Ventura AI. So basically, to give you a rundown, Ventura AI is basically an app that detects cyber threats within an online request. So basically, what it does is that it's basically like a Streamlit-based web app that uses AI, which is we use the Gemini API to detect and analyze cyber threats and web requests. And it's built using Streamlit Gemini API in Python. So Ventura's features consist of AI detection. So basically AI detection is we used a Gemini API to, for when the user inputs a request, we basically use the model to analyze if there's any like ransom malware or any like, what is it called? Like DDoS or SQL injections in it. So basically just make sure that the request is clean and healthy. And then we also have user feedback. So basically after we output if the request had any like bugs or anything in it, we ask the user to give us feedback based on if the AI was wrong or right. So it gives us feedback on how to improve our app. And then we also have chat history. It's basically you get to see, the user gets to see the past requests they put in, and it's all stored in a JSON file. So if they were to come back and see what was wrong with the past request, they would be able to. And then moving on, we have our architecture. So basically our app was built off Google's Gemini AI model using a private API key. So as you can see, I'm gonna switch to our code. So as you can see right here, we inputted a API key so that the AI model can do the work of analyzing the request and giving the output, whether if there's bugs or not. And then we also used LLMs, which is basically generative AI for our responses. And then Streamlit was used for our front end and our user interface and physical appearance, as well as JSON file for a chat history. And then so for our user workflow, so how the app works is the user enters a welcome page as soon as the link is accessed. And as you can see, so this is our app. As you can see, you would come to this screen and you would basically click start new chat. And here is the input box. And then
your screen isn't visible. I think you're just sharing the presentation.
oh, okay. Sorry. 1 second. Okay. Would I be sharing a window or the entire screen?
If it's okay, you can share the entire screen. No
Okay.
issues.
It's not letting me, but I can like individually share my app if you want. And then
Yeah, that's
yeah, and then, okay. Okay, so as you can see, this is our app. So it first starts off by asking to click on a new chat. So once you click on it, you can see there's an input box for the user to manually type in the request, or you can also put in a image of the request. And then once you click analyze with AI, our Gemini API key will use the LLM to analyze the request and check if there's any bugs in it. And then finally, this is our feedback area. So it's basically asking the user if what the AI gave you was right or wrong for further analysis and improving our app. And then I'll go back to the slideshow. Okay. And yeah, this is what I went about. Oh, and also we also have the load previous chat. So basically in the app, you can load previous chats of when you inputted in different requests. So that way you can go back and see what was wrong and then learn about what had to be done right. And then moving on, so basically the impact of Ventura AI is that it's designed to help non-tech users as well as just like professionals to quickly fast check assumptions and also like not take as much time to analyze a request than like how a normal natural way would be. It also gives users a safe and smarter cyber world with allowing not as many bugs to be present in requests, and also reduces the risk of hidden malware that goes undetected within requests. And then moving on, possible expansion for Ventura AI, we thought that it could be added to cybersecurity companies. We thought that it could be added to cybersecurity companies to enhance their company, as well as like it can use our app within it. And also it can be expanded to wider public use. So not just like for me and my team and then the BetterMind instruction lab, but also like more people that wise. And then it can also be capable of adding more advanced features. Like we had ideas of making our user interface look better, as well as having a report analysis to give the user so that way it can go more into depth and give more detail. And finally, the tech stack of Ventura AI was that the hardware was built with PCs with low-end CPU, as you can see, and then operating system was mine and Jovin's and Bharat's Windows 10 to 11. Our database system was basically the JSON file so that we can store chat history in it so the user would be able to see it later on. And then our backend was built with Streamlit, Python, our Gemini API, and libraries which included the UUID, datetime, JSON, operating systems, and then Google Generative AI. And then our front end was Streamlit with a little bit of HTML, and our networking was deployed with Streamlit. And that would be my project. I can also screen share my project if you want, but
Yeah, sure.
okay. 1 second. Um, Okay, so this is basically our welcome screen. You would have to, this is basically our JSON file previous chat place. But first, the user would click on Start New Chat, and as you can see, there is a user input as well as an image dropdown. So basically, the user would use either this box or this drop-in file to input the request. And then once said, oh, and then once inputted, you would then click on Analyze with AI. And so basically what that does is it sends the request to our Gemini API that we inputted within our code, and the API and our model or the LLM would analyze the request, and it would output back if there's any like bugs in it, like DDoS or SQL injections in it. And we can also go back to the welcome page and we can load previous chats so that way the user has an idea of like what's happening, and like if they need to go back and like remember like what happened with the previous request, they can do that as well. And I think